the book really embodies that life is an improvisation. And it's not confined to a single room activity, even a class. It's not confined to a class. Like it belongs in any and everything. It's a part in each and every one of us in our daily routines. And this maxim, wake up to the gifts, okay? And there's like these little beautiful things. They're called try this, right? And they're at the end of every maxim, every chapter. And so for this one, wake up to the gifts, one of these try this is practice Thanksgiving. See how many times each day you can find to say thank you. Express thanks out loud, looking for variations of ways to express it. I love that. I'm just looking at these other try these. Yeah, the 9th maxim, wake up to the gifts. That's not the 7th, but the 9th. Notice that the glass is half full. Treasure the details. Make a point of thanking those with thankless jobs. It's an interesting way of putting it. Give the gift of moving forward. Our smallest actions count. Everything we do has the potential to help others. And this is very true. Yeah, this book is super, super beautiful. And Patricia, like, shout out. Collette, okay, Precious, Kausar. These women influenced my life in ways I can't really explain. And it's divine. It's beautiful. I'm a very spiritual guy, so I believe that it was meant to be. You know, I have this post I just did that was like, what's meant to be, but it's like on the hip dictionary. So they always have funny definitions for it. So it's meant to be. It's like it's like that. I take that personally in everything. You know, you like find something in everything. I'm just screwing up this pod, but hey, man, no one's perfect. You just gotta move forward. I'm just gonna double check the time, see where we're at. Yeah, 17. We're good. I'm gonna do 30 today because it's just something we should do. So yeah, the book embraces so much. It's just a real testament to like living your life to the fullest. You ever seen that movie Yes Man? It's kind of like that. Kind of not. Like, it's just the totality of it all. Of yes, it's very powerful. That's maybe where I'm getting across. Just embracing the yes and mantra in our daily lives, and it's very simple. And actually, come to think of it, I'll tell you a story. Weird. It was actually so weird. So it was like a couple Sundays ago, okay, and I was working I work part-time at the beer store. Shout beer store. The brew store. So I was working at the beer store, and I finished the work shift and I headed home. I was tired, but I knew I needed, and I felt to get. Okay, I'm gonna stop this accent. I was tired, and I knew I needed to get active, break a sweat. You know, you finish a work day, you're kind of tired, right? You're like really overwhelmed from the day. Maybe some things happened where your vibe changed, right? Sometimes negative. I hope it's mostly positive. To whoever's listening, if you did come across something negative today, remember it's nothing to do with you, okay? Unless you like just shoveled somebody in the face, but like it has nothing to do with you. It's always a reflection of oneself. So don't take what people do super personally. Always understand it's coming from a place within themselves, not so much on the outside. That aside, moving forward. So I was so tired, right? I couldn't. I was like, but I just knew I needed to get active. All right, so I chose to go to this, and then shout out City of Mississauga because they put up these outdoor rinks, right? Super cool, and just big shout out quickly to City of Mississauga because they've put out a bunch of rinks. Not even just like, I don't even know. I can't remember a time actually where there's been so many. Around each neighborhood, I think has one, like each borough. But I chose to go to the ODR, All right, the outdoor rink, the outdoor rink. All right, so I just, that's where my happy place is. It's one of my real hockey is, and that's what, that's where I'm going with it. Like hockey's always been there, and it's a big catalyst in who I am today. To be honest, it's a big reason. The adversity, the perseverance, the adversity of hockey and losing, and like even sports in general, really teach you something very important, especially at a young age. And if you include that with teamwork and so many other valuable lessons, valuable lessons. It's just great. So I was at this ODR, okay, and I just wanted to like give you a little background because I was like pretty much. Well, I was, skating around because I kind of want to. Where am I going to come with this story? Because there's two parts to it. So quickly saying, I had this opportunity a couple years ago, and I kind of fumbled on it, and so it's taking too much, the load, right, at one time, and I'm pretty sure I was just starting out of college. I'm pretty sure I had full course load, and I think I was working at Pet Value. I'm not sure, but these my good buddies, Pat and Dan, they took it upon themselves to be coaches in the local league, and they invited me. Pat reached out, and I had one showing. Like I went the one time to meet the team, to practice, and I embraced it. I was tying kids' skates, I was talking to the parents, I was doing, and it felt amazing. It felt like I was just at home, like it was perfect, like it was where I was supposed to be. And when you listen to these things that happen in life, the yes ands, it doesn't matter if you fumble along the way. It just matters if you just keep going. You pick up your bootstrap, you keep going, okay? So, long story short, I ended up bailing on Pat and Dan, and a shout out Pat and Dan, because they're real stand-up models. In my eyes, two of the most important people in my life. I know I don't see Dan often, even Pat still, right? But Dan more so, and he inspires me like you wouldn't believe. So shout out to Pat and Dan, all right? Because one day I wanted to get back into coaching, right? When I'm determined, and I know that it's the time, right? So this is a goal of mine, right? I'm manifesting this right now. I'm manifesting this. I have for weeks now. I have this goal. I have this vision of being a head coach, in my life, just in my life. Not like, I'm not putting pressure on myself, but this is like a goal, something I want to do. In that moment, the universe opened for me. Kind of ask and you shall receive. Because when I went to this rink, right, and I had that choice again, right, after work, you're tired, right, I just chose a yes and, I improvised. I was like, you know what, I feel like a nice sweat. It will do me nice, and for me, it's a grounding. Like I exercise, and it grounds me. It keeps me tip-top mentally, physically, like working out. And that's why this whole pandemic, these gyms are being really put in a place where they're not getting the right they deserve, because there are a lot of people that it's lifeblood. I'm fortunate enough, I have a treadmill that I've been doing, actually just HIIT workouts, which is dope. Shout out HIIT workouts. But moving forward. So I'm at this rink, and I see this kid, and his younger brother's doesn't have skates, but he's kind of like shuffling around near him, and then he's like a little bit older, right? And he's just skating there, kind of just hustling a little bit, and I'm teaching, and I kind of notice him, and I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna skate near, because it's COVID, right? You don't want to like just be speaking to like people in general, and so I'm just stick handling with my head up, very slow, like around, and then as people start to leave, they're like, okay, it's like getting late because I finished at like 5:30 work, so I was there at like 6:30. So it's getting late. It's like 8:30, 45, and I noticed that the mom and these two children, like the younger one and the hockey guy with the skates, like like he had the gear. We finally started to conversate. And I was like, yeah, I was kind of noticing, so I was doing stuff slow, I was mentioning to the mom, and she's like, yeah, like that's very kind, and she's like, we just kept talking, right, getting to know one another, and ended up, she's like, do you wanna teach my boys like private lesson? You wanna I can pay you, and we'll just go from there, so for me. And I am a big believer in self-analyzation. You have to really keep up to date because you can just really carry some stuff that shouldn't be on your shoulders. You really need to cleanse. Learn to manifest. Or not manifest. Learn to let go. But this whole thing, right, came from yes and. It all came from improv. And it all came from a place where, in my heart, it's what I wanted. And I was just being true to myself, man, It's so deep. And this is just one of the things I'm noticing as more and more I'm just diving deeper. Oh, just check the time. We're at 27. Chaboy is doing good. I'm going to bang out 30, so we got a few minutes left. But I can't really put into words how far out that was. Days prior to that Sunday, I was just thinking about it because it's something I've always like I regretted it, but it's the load management. You have to really be disciplined and know your boundary and know you just have to take in consideration everything. Don't be. I get hard on myself all the time. I'm really, and I think I always will. But I think the added benefit of self-analyzation and helps a lot because it's just like, oh my gosh, and this whole thing with that interaction blew me away because it's something true and dear to my heart, and I can't wait. To be honest, I can't wait, and I hope I get an opportunity to do it with people I love, which are Pat and Dan. Like shout out, and they're so sweet. Like they invited me to the coaches' banquet at the end of the year because these boys, they actually did great with the team. The 9-year-olds, it was like green, I think, the level. The boys did great. The boys are back on time. Yeah, man. Fuck. Shout out Pat and Dan, man. Yeah, they invited me to the banquet. Got to meet. Got a meal. Had fun with the boys. I was dancing. Oh, when I recall this, I was just dancing in like a circle full of hockey moms. And Pat's just like, "What's happening?" Like I was just like, "Oi, oi, oi, oi!" Just like doing like random shuffling movements to Flow Rider. This is ours. That's how it goes. Oh my god. I'm butchering this. But, and I hope this is good. I'm like dedicating it to Women's History Month, but like, they're like, I don't want this shit. I'm a woman and what is this? Fuck. But this has been episode 7, okay? Entitled Improv. It is dedicated to women that have influenced me. Shout out Kausar. Shout out Collette. Shout out Precious. And shout out my improv teacher. And it's on the tip of my tongue. It's not like I totally forgot. I don't want to like throw names out there, but like Kim. No, it's not Kim. I don't know. But just know that I'm here. And hey, don't be afraid. Yes and. Okay? Do something for you this week. Simple as reading a book, putting some jot notes down. Do it for you. Love you.